Over 65? 4 nuts you must eat and 4 you should never touch. Did you know that one small mistake in your snack drawer could silently increase your risk of heart disease by nearly 50%? It sounds extreme, but the latest research from the American College of Cardiology shows that eating the wrong kind of nuts, yes, just nuts, can quietly damage your heart, brain, and even your liver, especially after age 65. And here's the kicker. Some of the most harmful nuts are the ones we've been told for years were healthy. So today, on Buddhist Health, we're going deep. You'll discover 4 powerful nuts that protect your bones, sharpen your memory, and even support your thyroid, without you overhauling your entire diet. We'll also reveal 4 popular nuts causing inflammation, raising blood sugar, and interfering with common medications older adults take, sometimes without a single symptom until it's too late. And the most dangerous nut? You probably have it in your pantry right now. This video is more than just a food list. It's a wake-up call to pay attention to what we're putting into our bodies. And it's a reminder that small changes can still create powerful outcomes, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. So if you want better energy, clearer thinking, stronger bones, and a heart that keeps showing up for you every day, stay with me because the nut you swap out today might save you years of health. Before we dive in, like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss future content on nutrition, mindful living, and whole body wellness. Here on Buddhist Health, we're not just aging but awakening. Let's begin. Almonds, the bone guardian in your pantry. There's something quietly remarkable about almonds. No flashy colors, no exotic story, just a small, everyday nut sitting patiently in your pantry. But once you pass 65, that little almond might be one of your body's most potent allies. Aging is natural, but it doesn't mean surrendering to frailty. As bones lose density, digestion slows, and memory sometimes plays tricks, almonds offer a steady, grounding support. They're not a miracle cure. They're better than that. They're reliable. Let's talk bones. After 65, bone loss accelerates, and fractures become more dangerous. For older adults, a broken hip isn't just a setback, it can be a turning point. That's where almonds come in. Packed with calcium and magnesium, almonds help maintain bone density. But it's not just the calcium. The magnesium in almonds plays a critical role, almost like a traffic director guiding calcium to the bones, instead of letting it build up in arteries where it can harm. That dual action, strengthening the bones and protecting the heart, makes almonds a natural fit for aging bodies. But that's not where their impact ends. Inside each almond is a generous dose of vitamin E, an antioxidant that shields your brain cells from damage. At Tufts University, researchers have found that seniors who regularly consume vitamin E-rich foods like almonds tend to show slower cognitive decline. And here's the thing, when you eat almonds with the skin on, you get flavonoids too. Together with vitamin E, they form a kind of neuroprotective team that works quietly, consistently, and powerfully. Now imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, sipping a cup of coffee or green tea, and you take a small bowl of almonds, 15 to 20 raw, unsalted skins on. You chew slowly, maybe absent-mindedly, but those tiny bites do real work. They're helping you stay mentally sharp, physically stronger, and more regular. Because almonds also deliver a good amount of fiber, which helps with digestion and keeps things moving. Constipation may not be a glamorous topic, but it's real, and it affects nearly 40% of older adults. Almonds can help ease that issue gently, naturally, without adding more pills to your cabinet. Here's something to keep in mind. Not all almonds are created equal. Go for raw or dry roasted, never those heavily salted or flavored kinds. Keep them simple. If chewing is challenging, chop or soak them overnight to soften them slightly. But do chew thoroughly. Almonds can be a choking hazard if you rush, especially for those with swallowing difficulties. Food isn't just fuel, it's medicine, it's memory, it's meaning. And almonds? They prove that some of life's most powerful things are also the most unassuming. Make it a ritual, a handful a day, a moment of care. Because even at 65, 75, or 85, your body still responds to love. And sometimes, love looks like a bowl of almonds. Walnuts, the brain's natural ally. There's a reason walnuts look like tiny brains. Nature in its quiet wisdom often leaves clues, and in the case of walnuts, that resemblance is more than just symbolic, it's scientific. As we age, the brain becomes one of the most vulnerable organs in the body. Memory slips, focus fades, sleep becomes elusive, and for many people over 65, there's a quiet fear in the background. Will I remember who I am and love as the years go on? Walnuts can't promise immortality, but what they offer is real support for your mind, your heart, and your sleep. Let's start with the brain. Walnuts are the richest source of plant-based omega-3s, specifically alpha-linolenic acid. This fatty acid helps maintain the structure of brain cell membranes and improves how neurons communicate. In simpler terms, omega-3s help your brain stay sharp and connected. In a recent study published in the Journal of Nutrition, seniors who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts a day for 8 weeks experienced measurable improvements in cognitive processing speed and mental flexibility. That's not theory. That's data. And it's powerful proof that your brain is still alive and responsive, even well past retirement age. But walnuts don't stop at brain function. They also contain melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating your sleep-wake cycle. As we grow older, melatonin production naturally declines, making restful sleep harder. A handful of walnuts in the evening can offer gentle support, helping you fall asleep easier and stay asleep longer, without medication or side effects. And then there's the heart. Walnuts carry a powerful blend of polyphenols and the amino acid arginine. Together, they reduce oxidative stress and improve blood vessel function, two key elements for protecting cardiovascular health as we age. Walnuts have been shown to enhance the effects of blood pressure medications, helping keep arteries flexible and blood flowing smoothly. But let's step away from the science momentarily and just talk about the experience. Cracking walnuts by hand is an act of presence. It's slow, it's tactile, it asks you to be there, in that moment, engaged. And that kind of mindfulness, oohing-wowing at a time with full attention, is healing. So how do you make walnuts a daily habit? Start with 7 to 9 halves per day. Keep them refrigerated to protect their oils from turning rancid. Choose raw or lightly roasted options. Don't be put off by their slightly bitter taste. That's where the antioxidants live. And remember, food isn't just about nutrients. It's about nourishment. Walnuts nourish the mind, the heart, and the spirit. They remind us that aging doesn't have to mean fading. It can mean deepening, sharpening, and becoming more ourselves. So if you're over 65 and looking for something simple yet profound to support your mental clarity and emotional balance, let the walnut become your daily ritual. Not just for your brain, but for your being. Pistachios, the green gem for healthy blood pressure. Some foods have a quiet elegance. Pistachios are one of them. Cracked open slowly, one by one, these vibrant green gems offer more than just a satisfying crunch. They carry the power to protect, balance, and heal within them. For seniors, managing blood pressure becomes a lifelong companion. And while medications play their role, using food as a gentle intervention, without side effects, without complications, isn't just appealing, it's empowering. Pistachios are one of the rare snacks that feel indulgent but act medicinally. Let's begin with their most underrated trait, potassium. A single ounce of pistachios provides roughly 285 milligrams of potassium, with barely any sodium in sight. This mineral balance helps reduce fluid retention, common in older adults, especially those on multiple medications. Studies have shown that incorporating pistachios into your daily routine can lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, similar to the effect of specific low-dose prescriptions, but without the long list of warnings on the label. And there's more. Pistachios contain 2 antioxidants many have never heard of, lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds concentrate in the retina and protect the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp central vision. Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss in people over 60, and once it starts, it's challenging to reverse. But pistachios, in their unassuming way, help slow that progression. Their natural pigments, the greens and purples, are a visual cue of the protection they offer your vision. Then there's the benefit for those managing blood sugar. About 25% of Americans over 65 have diabetes, and nearly half are pre-diabetic. Pistachios, with 3 grams of fiber per ounce and a low glycemic impact, help regulate blood sugar levels gently. They don't spike your insulin. They don't send your energy crashing. They offer stable, sustained nourishment, precisely what the body needs in its later decades. However, one of the most overlooked gifts of pistachios is how they encourage mindful eating. Unlike other nuts, you don't just grab a handful and throw them back. You pause, you crack each shell, you're present. That slow rhythm naturally limits how much you eat, giving your brain time to register fullness and offering a small meditative practice in the middle of your day. If you have arthritis or struggle with dexterity, look for pistachios that are already partially opened. They're easier on the hands, but still slow you down enough to encourage awareness. So, how should you add them to your life? Aim for about 49 pistachios a day, roughly an ounce. Choose unsalted or lightly salted versions to avoid extra sodium, and store them in a cool, dry place to protect their natural oils. Think of pistachios not as a snack, but as a daily act of self-respect, a ritual of care, a small step toward balance in blood pressure, vision, and the simple joy of eating something that loves you back. Brazil nuts, the thyroid's hidden superfood. In a world where health advice is often loud and overwhelming, Brazil nuts whisper a quiet truth. Sometimes, less is more. Unlike other nuts you might enjoy by the handful, Brazil nuts ask for restraint. 1, maybe 2 per day. That's all it takes. But within those few bites lies a rare and powerful gift: selenium, the trace mineral your thyroid depends on to function at its best. Now, the thyroid isn't something most people think about until it stops working well. But for older adults, especially those over 65, thyroid issues are surprisingly common and often overlooked. Fatigue, weight changes, brain fog, low mood. Many of these symptoms are chalked up to aging, when in reality, a sluggish thyroid may be the root cause. Here's where Brazil nuts come in. Just one nut contains about 96 micrograms of selenium, around 137% of your recommended daily intake. And it's not just any selenium, it's organically bound, meaning your body absorbs and uses it more effectively than the synthetic kind found in most supplements. Selenium helps your thyroid convert its hormones into the active form your body uses. That, in turn, supports your metabolism, stabilizes your mood, and improves your energy, not in a jolt, but in a steady, grounded way. But the benefits don't stop at hormones. Brazil nuts also contribute to something even more vital as we age: protecting our nervous system. Inside each nut are rare fatty acids that help preserve the myelin sheath, the insulation around your nerve cells. Myelin keeps your reflexes sharp, your reaction time quick, and your coordination intact. As we grow older, that protection weakens. Brazil nuts help slow that decline. Emerging research has even shown that the antioxidants in Brazil nuts may help preserve telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes. Telomere shortening is linked to cellular aging, and by helping maintain these structures, Brazil nuts may support longevity on a truly foundational level. But here's the catch: more is not better. Selenium is powerful, but in large doses it can become toxic. This isn't the kind of nutrient to stockpile. It's the kind you respect. The sweet spot? 1 to 2 Brazil nuts a day. That's it. More than that, you risk fatigue, hair thinning, or other symptoms of selenium overload. Store your Brazil nuts in the refrigerator. Their high fat content makes them prone to rancidity, and keeping them cool preserves their purity. Look for nuts still in their shells when possible. The shell acts like nature's preservation system, and when you reach for one, don't rush. Let it be a moment of stillness, a pause, a way of saying to your body, "I see you, I care for you." That tiny nut, unassuming as it may seem, is a daily act of wisdom, a reminder that even the smallest rituals can have the most profound impacts. In the end, health isn't about chasing more, it's about learning to listen to your body, to your needs, and sometimes to the quiet power of a single Brazil nut. Peanuts, the silent inflammatory trap, they're in almost every pantry. Spread on toast, served at family gatherings, a staple in lunchboxes and snacks for generations. But for people over 65, peanuts might not be as innocent as they seem. While peanuts are beloved for their taste and convenience, they come with a series of risks that deserve serious consideration, especially for older adults managing heart health, memory, and medication. Let's begin with something most people never hear about: aflatoxins. Peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes that grow underground, and that unique growing environment makes them particularly vulnerable to mold contamination. One type of mold produces aflatoxins, a class of natural toxins that over time can damage the liver and may increase cancer risk. As the body's ability to detox naturally diminishes with age, that risk becomes even more significant for seniors. But the concerns don't end there. Peanuts are also high in omega-6 fatty acids. While omega-6s are essential in small amounts, the average American diet is already heavily skewed in their favor, especially when compared to omega-3s. This imbalance fuels chronic inflammation, which is a major contributor to arthritis, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Peanuts could quietly add to the storm for someone already navigating joint pain or memory lapses. And then there's the issue of medication. Peanuts contain vitamin K, which can interfere with blood thinners like warfarin, a standard prescription for older adults at risk for stroke or clotting. What seems like a healthy snack can unexpectedly disrupt the delicate balance of your treatment plan. Now let's talk about peanut butter. It's a comfort food, no doubt. But most commercial peanut butters are loaded with hydrogenated oils, added sugars, and excessive salt. Those ingredients may taste good, but they're exactly what the aging heart doesn't need. Hydrogenated oils raise bad cholesterol. Salt elevates blood pressure. And that extra sugar? It increases insulin resistance, which becomes more dangerous with every passing decade. Even so-called natural peanut butter often comes with a heavy salt dose. And storing peanuts improperly can cause their fats to go rancid, releasing harmful free radicals that damage cells, including the brain. Still, maybe you've been eating peanuts for years without issue. That's understandable. Habits become part of our identity, but health is about evolution, not perfection. You don't have to ban peanuts completely. Simply consider cutting back. Maybe start by replacing them a few days a week with almonds, walnuts, or pistachios. You might be surprised how quickly your body notices the difference. Because at this stage in life, every little shift matters. Small choices, repeated daily, compound into better energy, clearer thinking, and a heart that keeps beating strong for the people you love. And sometimes, caring for yourself means gently letting go of what no longer serves you, even if it's something as familiar as a peanut. Cashews, the sugar spike you didn't expect. Cashews are smooth, creamy, and a little addictive. Something about their subtle sweetness and velvety texture makes them feel more like a treat than a health food. And they've carried that reputation for years: heart-healthy, nutrient-rich, safe. But for people over 65, the story deserves a second look. On the surface, cashews seem like a wholesome snack, but behind their soft bite lies a surprising reality. Cashews are significantly higher in carbohydrates than most nuts. Just 1 ounce delivers around 9 grams of carbs, which might not sound like much, but for seniors managing blood sugar or living with prediabetes, it matters. And it's not just about sugar. Cashews also contain oxalates, which bind to calcium in the digestive tract. This may seem harmless, but over time, oxalates can reduce calcium absorption at a stage in life when bone loss is already accelerating. Maintaining calcium levels is essential for older adults, especially postmenopausal women, to prevent osteoporosis. Strong bones become less of a bonus every year and more of a necessity. But it doesn't end there. Cashews can also contribute to the formation of kidney stones, especially in those already prone to them. As the body ages, filtration efficiency declines. What used to be flushed out smoothly may linger, and that buildup can lead to painful, recurring problems. Moreover, cashews naturally contain enzyme inhibitors which may interfere with protein digestion. This is especially concerning for older adults who already face challenges absorbing nutrients. Over time, this can lead to less efficient muscle maintenance, slower recovery, and even subtle declines in energy. And let's talk portion control. Cashews are so palatable that eating too many is easy without realizing it. That creamy richness tricks your brain into thinking you've had something light, when you may have consumed hundreds of calories in minutes. At a time in life when metabolism naturally slows, that kind of hidden caloric load can contribute to stubborn weight gain, something that many older adults struggle to manage. Of course, None of this is to say that cashews are inherently evil. However, cashews may not be the best choice for older adults navigating diabetes, bone health, digestion, or weight maintenance. The good news? You don't have to give up snacking altogether. You just have to shift what's in the bowl. Walnuts and almonds offer richer nutritional profiles with fewer downsides, and they bring added benefits for heart, brain, and bone health. Change doesn't need to feel like a sacrifice. It can feel like refinement. A quiet evolution toward choices that meet the moment you're in, not the moment you were in 20 years ago. So next time you reach for that handful of cashews, pause. Ask yourself, what does my body need now? Honoring that question, listening to it, is one of the most potent forms of self-care. Macadamia, the calorie bomb in disguise. There's no denying it, macadamia nuts are luxurious. Their rich, buttery flavor and velvety crunch feel like indulgence in its purest form. And for many people, especially in their retirement years, a little indulgence feels well-earned. But as comforting as macadamias may seem, they come with a hidden cost, especially for older adults trying to manage their weight, heart health, or digestion. The first red flag is their calorie density. Just 1 ounce of macadamia nuts delivers around 200 calories. That might not seem like much, but macadamias are incredibly easy to overeat. A few handfuls while watching TV or chatting with a friend can quickly add up to 500 calories or more, without any sense of fullness to stop you. As we age and metabolism naturally slows, these invisible calories can quietly contribute to unwanted weight gain that's harder and harder to lose. But it's not just about calories. Macadamias are also among the highest in saturated fats in nuts, about 3 grams per ounce. And while a bit of fat is essential, saturated fats, especially in large amounts, are known to raise LDL cholesterol, which clogs arteries and increases your risk for heart disease. For older adults already dealing with high cholesterol or on statins, macadamias can work against everything you're trying to achieve. The digestive system also has something to say. Macadamias are extremely rich, and that richness puts pressure on the gallbladder, which helps digest fats. Many people over 65 have some degree of gallbladder inefficiency. Some even have gallstones and don't know it. For them, a high-fat food like macadamia can trigger bloating, discomfort, or worse. And let's not forget your teeth. Macadamias are dense and crunchy, which might not seem like a big deal until you have crowns, bridges, or weakened enamel. Dental repairs are expensive. At this stage in life, avoiding unnecessary damage is just another smart step in self-preservation. There's also a practical issue: cost. Macadamias are among the most expensive nuts on the market. That leads many people to buy them in bulk, store them for long periods, or opt for cheaper, lower-quality versions, many of which are roasted in oils or salted excessively, further tipping the scales from benefit to burden. So, what's the alternative? If you love the satisfying crunch of macadamias but want something that supports your heart and overall health, look to pistachios. They're lighter in fat, richer in fiber, and offer a suite of antioxidants that macadamias simply don't. Plus, their shelling process slows you down, helping prevent overeating. Ultimately, it's about tuning in, not just to what tastes good, but to what your body responds well to. Macadamias aren't bad, but they may no longer be the best fit for this chapter of your life. And that's okay. The goal isn't perfection. It's alignment, choosing foods that match your body's current needs and honoring the truth of where you are right now. So, enjoy your snacks, but let them nourish you in every way, not just on your tongue, but in your heart, health, and peace of mind. Pine nuts, the dangerous drug interrupter. They're tiny, sleek, mild in flavor, and often hidden in sauces and gourmet dishes without much thought. Pine nuts rarely draw attention. However, these little seeds can carry significant consequences for adults over 65, especially those on medications. Let's start with the most concerning issue: drug interaction. Pine nuts contain compounds that can interfere with how your body absorbs and processes common medications, especially those prescribed for heart conditions, high blood pressure, and depression. Over 60% of Americans in this age group are on at least one of these drugs, and yet the possibility that something in your salad or pesto could reduce their effectiveness isn't often discussed. It should be. Food-drug interactions aren't always obvious. You don't feel them immediately. But over time, that slow interference can lead to higher blood pressure, mood instability, or reduced cardiac protection, despite taking your pills exactly as directed. And that can be both confusing and dangerous. But that's not all pine nuts bring to the table. There's a strange condition called pine nut syndrome. It doesn't happen to everyone, but when it strikes, it leaves a metallic, bitter taste in your mouth that can last for days or weeks. For seniors, this isn't just a culinary inconvenience. It can lead to loss of appetite, weight loss, and a disruption in daily nourishment. Older adults already face an increased risk of malnutrition and unintended weight loss. So even subtle disruptions in appetite can have cascading effects on energy, immunity, and quality of life. And while pine nuts are high in polyunsaturated fats, which are often considered heart-healthy, these fats oxidize quickly. Once oxidized, they create inflammatory compounds that can worsen arthritis or joint pain. That inflammation doesn't just stay in your joints. It travels. It contributes to fatigue, brain fog, and an overall decline in resilience. There's also emerging evidence that some compounds in pine nuts may accelerate age-related macular degeneration, the most common cause of vision loss in older adults. For anyone struggling with declining sight, every bit of protection counts, including knowing which foods to pull back on. Now, does that mean you need to read every pesto label obsessively? Not necessarily. But pine nuts may be worth a closer look if you've noticed a lingering bitter taste after meals, or if you're on medications that seem to fluctuate in effectiveness. The good news is, they're easy to swap out. You can make pesto without them, using walnuts, Brazil nuts, or pistachios for a similar texture and a safer nutritional profile. These substitutes avoid the risks and benefit thyroid function, heart health, and blood sugar balance. In this season of life, the goal isn't to restrict, to refine, to become more intentional, more attuned to what truly supports your well-being. If pine nuts have been a quiet part of your diet, it might be time to part ways, not because they're universally bad, but because they may not be right for you. And making that decision, with clarity and compassion, is precisely what health-conscious aging is all about. So, what have we learned today? We've explored 8 familiar foods, 4 that can quietly support your energy, heart, and mind, and 4 that might work against your health without you even realizing it. Almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts offer powerful support for your bones, brain, blood pressure, and beyond. But despite their popularity, peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts can bring unexpected risks, from inflammation to drug interactions to hidden weight gain. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. When we know better, we choose better. And in doing so, we offer ourselves a chance to age not just longer, but wiser, stronger, and with more grace. Now I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, simply write this: I choose foods that love me back. Let that be your affirmation for today. An intention, a quiet promise to yourself that your choices matter, and so do you. If this video brought you insight, peace of mind, or even a little curiosity, please like this video, subscribe to Buddhist Health, and tap the bell to continue this journey together. And always remember, healing doesn't require noise, force, or struggle. Sometimes it begins with a single almond, a gentle breath, and a moment of mindful attention. From my heart to yours, thank you for being here. Until next time, stay well, stay kind, and stay present.